Welcome back. Now, Namibia and Botswana are pushing ahead with the ambitious Trans-Kalahari Railway, a project set to link the two countries and unlock new trade, investment and development opportunities across southern Africa. Speaking in Mahun, Ministers Veikko Nekundi and Salakae share updates on progress, financing models and a shared vision for a corridor that could transform the region's economic landscape. Minister Nekundi and Minister Salakae, good evening and thank you so much for joining us here on the Daily Roundup.
Good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are things in Botswana?
Everything is Botswana.
Everything is fine. Temperature and weather are perfect.
Oh, fantastic. Well, let's get into our conversation, gentlemen. Minister Nekundi, you emphasized that the Trans-Kalahari Railway is much more than just a rail line. It's a strategic instrument for regional trade and integration. But talk to us about how you envision the railway line transforming trade relations and economic development between Namibia and Botswana, and of course in the broader SADC region.
Thank you very much and good evening to the viewers and listeners out there back home. Indeed, this way the railway project, it's just not the railway line as I said, because the project entails or intend to facilitate the economic development between the two neighboring countries, Namibia and Botswana, in more so that it will be an economic infrastructure. And through this infrastructure, we shall be able to increase commodity volumes between Namibia and Botswana. And most of important is that this infrastructure will be the gateway to the central and eastern SADC in terms of commodity volumes. And that will enable Namibia to create the integration of SADC insofar as trade is concerned. Is of paramount importance. And one should appreciate that with the development of this infrastructure, one will look at the trade integration, the intensification of trade integration between our neighboring countries and to the deeper part of the eastern SADC member states. In addition, one should appreciate that this infrastructure will also be able to attract other economic opportunities and economic hubs along the railway corridor, insofar as the nodes along the route is concerned. So therefore, it is much more. It will enhance trade between Namibia and Botswana in the context of relations, and also the actual trade insofar as commodity is concerned. Indeed, it will add value to our relationship, both bilateral in the context of social development, political development, and economic development. In that context, it is indeed just not a railway line, but an economic development agenda which we are pursuing between Namibia and Botswana.
Thank you. Well, Minister Salakae, you presented the idea to the possibility of a new Kalahari city along the corridor. Briefly elaborate on this idea for us.
Good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon to the people of Namibia, my second home. I want the people of Namibia to know that Namibia is my home. I've got a lot of relatives there. But insofar as the Kalahari city is concerned, this is an idea, not to mean that plans are already there to develop the city. This was just to say the Trans-Kalahari Railway project that we are now investing into as government of Botswana and government of Namibia should not be only about a railway. It should also about development. We should also think about developing towns around the corridor, developing business centers and so forth. So the idea of the Kalahari city was one such idea that I mentioned in my speech, that if our plans are done correctly, if planning is done decisively, it should be possible for us to develop a city along the corridor that will be able to serve the people of Botswana and the people of Namibia.
Minister Nekundi, as much as this is a team effort, I want to talk about how Namibia will ensure environmental sustainability when the Trans-Kalahari Railway project does begin.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, one must appreciate that in the new era, in environmental sustainability is the ultimate agenda insofar as development is concerned. Anything that you develop that have a negative impact on the environment is not sustainable. As such, it have a negative effect on the future generations. And us, as responsible leaders of the moment, cannot be selfish and think we can develop projects that bring development at the expense of the environment. In context of thereof, one must appreciate that Namibia and Botswana have environmental laws, which are the primary basis on which we base insofar as compliance to the regulations as anchored on the laws of both Namibia and Botswana. Therefore, it is much of imperative that when we are developing the corridor group, we shall ensure maximum compliance to our piece of legislation between Namibia and Botswana. And in that context, it must be understood that continuous monitoring and control shall be the order of the day from the perspective of the project management office to the consultants, as well as the policymakers between the two of us at the policy level, and more so to the contractors who shall be the executors of these projects in order to ensure that these projects, from planning to executions to the continuous implementation of these projects, sustainability is the order of the day. And that's what we swore to uphold the laws of Namibia, and my brother also have sworn to uphold the laws of Botswana. And thus the laws on sustainability or the compliance to the law, environmental law, is of paramount to us to undertake such a principles to ensure that we do not compromise the sustainability of environment. For environment.
Minister Salakae, a project of this nature is no small feat, and of course it's going to be costly. And you spoke about exploring innovative models to fund the Trans-Kalahari Railway line. So could you elaborate on what specific financing structures or partnerships Botswana is perhaps considering?
Thank you very much, Madam. It must be very understandable that in the contemporary world, every nation or every economy, a lot of economies now are taking a route of leveraging on the private sector. As the government of Botswana, we will be looking at leveraging on the public-private partnership to build our own roads. It is becoming very clear that there are people out there who have a lot of money, who are willing to assist, and it's for government like Botswana to ensure that we make necessary arrangements to facilitate for such arrangement so that those with money in the private sector can assist the government bring development to the people. So we are looking now at ensuring that we utilize, we leverage on triple Ps to assist our people. Already we are at feasibility study, and that looks like is going to work, even though the first part will be financed by the government. But we have already secured private partnerships through the triple P model to ensure that going forward, that becomes our financing arrangement.
You stress the importance of transparency and alignment amongst stakeholders. So how will you maintain that level of coordination, especially across multiple agencies and now the merging of these two governments, Minister Nekundi?
Thank you very much. Transparency is paramount in any democratic order. And Namibia and Botswana are democratic countries. So therefore, it's very much important that whatever we do it in a transparency manner. You know, secrecy creates suspicious and no buy-in from the communities. It's in that context that on regular basis, we inform our citizens on the project scope, on the project implementation phase and so forth through you, the media, is very much important. In addition, we have created an absolute proper layers in order to ensure there is absolute transparency. The first layers of the governance architecture of these projects is what we call the project management office that is hosted in Windhoek and is co-managed and coordinated by the citizens of both Namibia and Botswana. That's the first layer that ensures transparency. The next layer of ensuring transparency is what we call the Joint Technical Committee. This is the committee that is made up of technical experts for Namibia and Botswana. And on a regular basis, they interact and coordinate the activities. And through you, the media, they do inform the public out there. The third layer of this architecture is what we call the Joint Steering Committee that is made up of the senior management of our respective ministries of agencies of the state that have to do insofar as this project is concerned. And again, this is another layer to filter in ensuring that there's absolute coordination and the communities are informed and that there's nothing in secrecy, and ensuring that everything is done to the letter and spirit of our respective laws, regulations, and policies. And indeed, the last layer of this project is what we call the Joint Ministerial Committee that is constituted by the ministers of Namibia and Botswana in the area of the transport sector. So, and this is exactly what we've been doing and ensuring that there's transparency within the whole process. And at every stage of our engagements, at every stage of our coordinations, we do inform the communities, inform the citizens of our respective countries. In that, we're ensuring that there is no secrecy and there is transparency in order to ensure that this project is being executed and appreciated by all citizens of our respective countries. That is the bottom line of ensuring transparency and openness to our communities, to which we are accountable to.
Just looking ahead, Minister Salakae, you mentioned a vision where the corridor could support over 250,000 people in thriving communities. So how will this project ensure, that growth is inclusive?
The notion of economic inclusivity means that we need to ensure that we do not leave anybody behind when we bring developments to the people. We mean ensuring that even the policies that we enact are inclusive in terms of the opportunities that we bring to the people. It must be very clear that everybody will be catered for. And this is what we mean by economic inclusivity. Everybody, every Botswana, every Namibia benefiting from the cake that is called the TKR. So that is the economic inclusivity.
We've come to the end of our discussion. We're out of time, but I'd like to give you an opportunity for final remarks. Salakae, please go ahead.
I'm excited that today we made another stride insofar as the development of the TKR is concerned. I'm hoping that going forward, the good bilateral relations, the good spirit that ensue, that characterize the relationship between Namibia can grow in leaps and leaps, in bounds and bounds. And God willing, Africa will achieve the integration that we are planning to achieve. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Minister Nekundi, your final remarks this evening?
Thank you very much. I'm just happy to be here today. One of the milestones factors that we have achieved at this meeting of today is that we have cleared the 9 years of audit reports. 9 years, we have cleared them off today. So it's a milestone. And we equally have approved a number of policies, obviously with minor amendments to those policies. This is to ensuring that we eliminate any challenges that might have a potential to delay the projects. So therefore, we are looking forward. So SADC, Africa, the Botswana-Namibia corridor, railway corridor is coming. Embrace it. Together, we shall deliver Africa toward economic development.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We do appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, you have it. That was Namibia and Botswana's Ministers of Transport speaking to us about the Trans-Kalahari Railway project that is going to be